Welcome to Kadampa Podcasts. These podcasts offer practical solutions to daily challenges and help guide us to a happier and more peaceful state of mind. In each episode, you will find an extract from a teaching given by one of various Kadampa Buddhist teachers worldwide. All these teachings are inspired by the profound wisdom of Venerable Geshe Khalsang Gyatso Rinpoche, a Buddhist master for our time. We hope you will enjoy listening.
The quality of our life depends on the quality of our mind. And that we are able to improve. I'll just check. This morning I'm teaching a public talk. It's called Find Your Happy Life. Searching for happiness where it can be found. Wonderful. So my name's Genla Dekyong, and I have the great good fortune to be the resident teacher here at Manjusri KMC and the general spiritual director of this tradition, the new Kadampa tradition. And the reason I'm able to sit here and talk to you genuinely from my heart and from my own experience is because nearly 40 years ago I met the most pure and holy meditation master. His name is Venerable Geshe Khalsang Gyatso. He established this temple for world peace and 5 other temples for world peace around the world. In New York, in Brazil, in Portugal, in Arizona, near the Grand Canyon, and most recently in Malaga, in Spain. He has also established 1,200 centers and branches around the world, and written from his own experience 23 holy texts that explain to people like you and me, because we're intelligent people, we can easily understand if somebody teaches us correctly and clearly, which is exactly Venerable Geshe-la's aim. He's teaching busy people like us how to find a happy life. Because if we're honest, if we're humble, we understand that we don't know how. And to me, it's a wonderful sign that you've turned up for this title, because it shows that you think, if you can find me a happy life, tell me how to do it, please, because I've been looking, some of you for 20 years, some of you for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years. I imagine that covers nearly everybody. So we've been searching for our happy life. We're not sure what it depends upon, because all the things it depends upon, mostly we have. So where can our happy life be found? So the reason why I know I can present you with the correct answer to that question is through the teachings and kindness of Venerable Geshe-la. And I'm going to use one of his 23 books to explain the answer to this question, how to find our happy life. The wonderful thing is that these methods work for everybody. And if we put these instructions into practice, do you know what the sign will be that you found the correct method to appear a happy life? What will the sign be? Your life becomes happier. That's the sign. And the more we practice these correct instructions, the happier our life will become. They are infallible, correct methods for everybody. For everybody. They work for everybody. Like if you add sugar to tea, we don't wonder what happens. We know what happens because adding sugar to tea is a correct scientific method to make tea sweet. If we add these instructions to our mind, they are correct scientific methods for making our life a happy life and a meaningful life. They're infallible scientific methods. So we can put that to the test. We can do some scientific research. And to be honest, even though I haven't met many of you individually, I know our life story. Our life story is we've already tried everything. We've tried this, and still a reliable, happy life that isn't suddenly going to disappear due to changing circumstances still eludes us. So we need someone to appear in our life to teach us. If someone would just teach us from their own experience, our happy life can appear. So deeply does Venerable Geshe Kelsang care about the people of this modern world. He asked, could 2 of his 23 texts, books, become freely given through the internet? And I think you all have this little card. On one side, it says, free ebook, How to Transform Your Life. So this is the book I'm going to focus on in this short talk. And it is a short talk. And in order for us to really understand what's being said, we can read and carefully think, if we wish, through downloading this book onto our phone or our laptop or our iPad or portable device. On the other side, it's got a pink side and a blue side. On the blue side is another wonderful text called Modern Buddhism. You know, these 2 words have never gone together before. Perhaps you know a little bit about Buddhism. Buddhism is ancient wisdom. Ancient wisdom. And Venerable Geshe Kelsang's life's work is to present this ancient wisdom in a way that's very modern, without adding anything, without taking anything out, so that you and I can follow correct instructions to happiness and freedom from pain, sorrow, problems. So that's the meaning of the title, Modern Buddhism. So I'm going to use How to Transform Your Life. And I'm giving you great encouragement because you've come here wanting something. There is so much to discover. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a taste of these precious instructions. You know, sometimes you can be in a supermarket and someone's going around with a plate of small pieces of cheese, and they offer them to you. They're samples. And the purpose is that you have a little piece and you think, that was delicious. What was it called again? And then maybe you think, I'd like some of that cheese. So the same's going to happen. It's just a little piece of cheese we're getting this morning. And when you taste it, you think, that's delicious. Then, because we don't need to buy anything, it's not about buying, it's about your happy life. So then you can download these instructions and read a little bit from time to time and see what you think. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Do you need to think more carefully? Because it's not like reading a novel or a newspaper or the internet. We have to really think. So the things I'm going to say this morning, we use two things. We use our logic and we use our own experience. Those two things, together with a wise teacher's own experience, we can turn our life in the direction of real happiness very easily, just even after a short talk like this. So I know this in my own experience, because that's exactly what happened to me a long time ago through Venerable Geshe-la's kindness. Okay, have you got your thinking caps in place? So I'm delighted to share these instructions. Listen carefully. Through practicing the instructions presented in this book, How to Transform Your Life, we can transform our life. We can transform our life from a state of misery or confusion to one of pure and lasting happiness. We can do this. That's wonderful. That's very good news. We can transform our life from a state of misery, difficulty, confusion to one of pure and lasting happiness. These instructions are scientific methods to improve our human nature. Everybody needs to be good-natured with a good heart. So I'm not going to be able to stop after every sentence, which, as you can tell, I'm being tempted to do, because in the gaps between the sentences, you need to think carefully. So these instructions that you're going to hear, and today is just a summary. It's a summary of everything you can learn. Amazing. We need to think, if we follow these instructions, they are scientific methods. So perhaps you know, what does a scientific method mean? A scientific method means something that produces reproducible and predictable results. Always. The results are reproducible and they're predictable. Like, for example, adding sugar to tea. So these, and we've never met such methods before. We've never met scientific methods for the mind ever before, because the science that we learn is all about material things. So these are scientific methods. They work for everybody. They're predictable, reproducible effects for everybody, irrespective of our nationality, our age, or anything about us. Whether our life is good or bad, these instructions, listen carefully, are scientific methods to improve our human nature. So if we were to point to our human nature, where would we point? I'd point to here, our heart, because improving our human nature means improving our root mind, which is here at our heart. Then the next instruction. Everybody needs to be good-natured with a good heart. Think about that. So these days, our world is so scary, dangerous, violent, unpredictable. We can barely pluck up the courage to look at the news, can we? It's like every day we're being put into greater and greater vulnerability. What's going to happen? Anything could happen. And that's true. Anything can happen. What is the solution? Everybody needs to be good-natured with a good heart. So imagine that. Imagine everybody improved their patience, which is the opposite of anger, improved their love, which is the opposite of hatred, improved their compassion, wishing others not to suffer, improved their wisdom, intelligence that leads to happiness. What comes? If everybody, Geshe-la says, everybody needs to improve their good heart. Everybody needs to be good-natured with a good heart. What happens if everybody learns, for example, what we're going to learn this morning and puts it into practice? Everybody needs to be good-natured with a good heart. World peace comes. The solution to everything that at the minute we've no idea how to solve comes swiftly and easily. So when we read, everybody needs to be good-natured with a good heart, who's Venerable Geshe-la really talking to? The person reading that sentence. I need to be good-natured. I need to learn. I need to become good-natured with a good heart. Not occasionally. You know, sometimes we are very kind. We even surprise ourselves. And we think, that was kind of me, wasn't it? And we look around to see if anybody else noticed how kind we just were. So if such a kindness is natural and spontaneous, we wouldn't be so surprised. So we've a lot to learn to be good-natured with a good heart all the time, whatever's happening in our life, and whoever is appearing in our life. I need to be good-natured with a good heart. Why? Because in this way we can solve our own problems as well as those of others, and we can make our human life meaningful. That's the method. If we want to solve all the pain, problems, suffering, unpleasant feelings in our life, help others do the same, and make our human life so deeply meaningful, day by day by day by day. 1 week makes such a difference. a month, a year, everything improving, because we're becoming good-natured with a good heart. This is the way to solve our human problems, our anxiety, our depression, our mental pain, any unpleasant feelings, and make our life truly meaningful. So please don't forget, I need to become good-natured with a good heart.
If you feel inspired by this podcast, then dive deeper into timeless wisdom of modern Kadampa Buddhism by following the link in the episode description. We look forward to reconnecting with you in the next episode of Kadampa Podcasts.